here on the McCree. It's all in flux, man.
Yeah, I mean, these names are all very familiar. Of course, Linkser is always just hanging out in every Overwatch chat. I don't think he does anything else. He's going to be on the Flat Earth roster. Vonathil, also a very familiar name. So these are players that we have seen play really well in the past. And like I said, we can't discount them just because they're going up against Mixup. Flat Earth has been a team that's played well for at least 3 weeks now, and they're on the up and up. And as we've seen before, teams in Overwatch can take a week between and just absolutely level up and dominate, whereas before they maybe didn't show as much. If they just put it together, because Overwatch is such a game of inches and seconds that, the coordination gets that much better, then they can just immediately become the best team. IDDQD came out of nowhere and became the best team over the course of 2 weeks.
So I'm taking a look at the map bans here. For those who are just tuning in, we have changed the map ban system a little bit. Rather than banning down to one map every time, instead we ban until there's 3 maps remaining in best of 3s, and then those 3 maps will be the maps in the map pool going forward. Meaning that you get a little bit more of that map variety potentially, and the loser has a little bit more choice in what map they want to go to for map number 2.
Yeah, right. I think Vonathil might have used to be on G2. We might be seeing the remnants of a G2. I'm really confused. I'm just trying to look up his history. Maybe chat can help me out on that. But I know it's a name that I'm not necessarily associating with Flat Earth for the entirety of his career.
So we have our 3 maps now. We have Dorado, Hollywood, and Kings Row. Once again, the King of the Hill and Capture Point maps getting banned out. And now teams will ban to decide what the first map will be in this matchup between Flat Earth and Mixup. So note that there will be no Gibraltar. So if we were going to see more tankless play, it probably won't be here. But you never know. So it's between Dorado and Kings Row for the first map.
Yeah, maybe we get to see some Dorado. It's been in the pool a couple times, just we haven't been able to get there. Mostly 2-0s today, just looking throughout the bracket.
Yep. So we are going to Kings Row, going back to the basics, as it were, for Flat Earth versus Mixup. And the real question is, will we see 6 Hanzos or not?
I mean, it's the only question.
It's sort of the highlight Kings Row. It's like, okay, A, will there be 6 Hanzos? And then B, will they actually get a kill off their random scatter shots?
I can't believe it's worked as many times as it has. I mean, it's probably got, what, 20% win, success rate, which is pretty high given the nature of the goofiness that the scatter shot is. I know that everyone, especially in Twitch chat, really respects players who use scatter shot. I think it's a balanced mechanic and probably want to see more of it in the game.
Yeah, Scattershot definitely has the thing going for it where it's just very, people don't like dying to it. I mean, I think it's one thing if it's shot at your feet and it kills you, but when a Scattershot hits a wall that's vaguely in your direction and then you get killed by a headshot arrow, people get a little bit salty.
There was a great one today on the subreddit where the Hanzo he turned around, did a 180 completely to shoot someone behind him. His scatter shot hit the wall, bounced over his back, and killed someone that he was not aiming for at all. The title was great. It's like, I think I was playing against Pythagoras today, referencing the geometry and angles that Hanzo likes to speak so highly of.
Well, I mean, it is all, in the end, it's all a simple geometry, right?
Yeah. So something like that. Yeah, he's replaced Genji as my new rage target in pubs. You see a lot of Hanzo in pubs, every map pretty much on both sides. Hanzo's everywhere. He is a pub stomper for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes he's a pub stomper. Other times he's just sort of on your team and doesn't do anything. Let's not give credit to all Hanzos because right? I've seen plenty of times where in your pub and you're just like, you look at the Hanzo, it's like, he's never on fire. I don't think I've seen him kill anything.
Yeah.
But his portrait is still there, staring forever to the right.
Well, it's it's the old adage, goes to HOTS as well. The other team's Hanzo has like a compound bow and a laser sight, and your team's Hanzo is drooling and has a Nerf bow and arrow.
I mean, the Nerf bow and arrow, that might be a little bit too much credit at times, let's be honest.
Dude, I love the Nerf bow and arrow.
It looks like our lobby has messed up, so we're making a new lobby. The joys of beta.
Yep. A lot of love and the donations for Siegel, of course, a very popular figure in the community. So if you want to put in your own message, it doesn't even cost you anything. They're donations that are free. Essentially, they don't come out of your pocket. They come out of Matcherino's pocket. Matcherino.com offering that crowd fundraising for esports. Really cool. Why not get in the esports action? The link is in chat. You can find it by exclamating Matcherino, and then you type in the code GGEU. That throws $1, and you get to say something. If you feel like throwing in some more dollars, puts you onto that top donors list, and we'll definitely read those messages as well. So we appreciate even just the coupon code heading over there to buff up this prize pool. I'm sure the players will appreciate it as well, as that money goes into their pockets. And of course, Matcherino finally getting it together this week, and we get to use their tournament stuff, and hopefully we'll be using it for all our tournaments in the future. And of course, a big thanks to our initial sponsors, Roccat and DX Racer as well. So when you're done using the coupon code for Matcherino, put in those websites in your browser, check out some gaming gear, keyboards, mice, and chairs.
Do we have a lobby up? I do have a lobby up. A little bit of weirdness here where I'm actually the go-between between players. None of these players are friends. We're going to spin that saying these players are enemies.
Yeah, they hate each other.
But now we're getting everyone into lobby here. There's a little bit of a mix-up on sides, no pun intended.
Yeah, classic.
Really? No, I actually said, I was like, wait, I could see that being a, you know what, whatever. But it's going to be Flat Earth on the attack first, and Mixup defending on King's Row, and definitely curious to see what sort of defense Mixup comes up with here.
Yeah, they're the team that I associate with offense, and running that tankless composition only cements that idea in my mind. But we've seen them play defense with a Torbjorn on Hollywood. Defensively, they still kind of want to take the high ground. I would imagine that we're going to see a couple people perched up in interesting spots, and maybe Siegel on a 76 or a Junkrat holding a little far back and just kind of spraying the point. But it'll be interesting to see if they run a Symmetra, not something I generally associate with Team Mixup.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. Mixup is actually a true team name, mixing up. They haven't really favored the McCree that was seen from a lot of other teams, and some of their other comps are a little bit unorthodox, but definitely has been working for them so far. They were able to dispatch Melty largely without the use of a McCree.
Yeah, no McCree, and I don't know if that's just because maybe the roster does not fit it. And I mentioned a couple weeks back, because I'm a huge Clockwork fanboy, that when they got Clockwork off the roster, that it'd be interesting to see who they would replace him with as kind of that hit scan specialist. And they tried out Pluppy for a little bit, but Pluppy, being the plup that he is, just plupped around with all the other teams. Ended up on IDDQD. Of course, I don't think he was ever really going to play seriously on an NA team, just because scheduling it gets a little bit different. But they don't really have the person that has replaced that role yet, that I know of, and maybe they're just not as comfortable on McCree, and maybe they just like some other heroes better for the compositions.
Yep, so we are ready. The teams appear to be ready, and we are getting in map number 1, King's Row. This is Mixup versus Flat Earth in the GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly semifinals. We are on the way. And again, EU servers might just hate my computer a little bit here, as it turns out.
I don't think it's just yours. Mine always kind of takes a little break here, a little spinning circle of worry that when it goes away, I'm very happy.
So, you have to see what Mixup brings on defense here. And just as we were saying that they weren't running that much in the way of McCree, what is staring us right in the face? Enigma on McCree.
Nice. Real quick, though, huge donation from Tyroplex saying IDDQD is king and throwing $10 behind that fact. Thank you, Tyro.
Very much. Awesome stuff coming from Tyro. So, taking a look at the defense here coming up from Mixup, we got Pure on the Mercy, Enigma on the McCree, Milo on the Reinhardt, Pyro on the Symmetra, Seagull on the Junkrat, and Harblu on Pharah. So this is a very explosive defense, to say the least, with both Junkrat and Pharah on the defense.
Yeah, and it all is kind of combined with that Mercy, who's going to be damage boosting both of them, just trying to put out huge amounts of damage. And then Enigma, hopefully, to clean up with his hit scan in the back on McCree. An interesting composition, to say the least, with a kind of single support, 1.5 supports, if you will, as Symmetra is going to be adding in as well. So you think of the teleporter. Unfortunately, Flat Earth is not going to run the 6 Winston combination, and they are going to run a Mercy Pharah combination of their own, along with a Junkrat.
Yep, so taking a look at this, as things start out here, we have the offensive Pharah coming out from Lynx, so we're getting a lot of explosives here in general, and perhaps the resurgence of Pharah staring us in the face here. And Lynx with the Mercy boost, doing damage to Reinhardt shield, gonna crack it in short order, and this might be the way for Flat Earth to rush in here. Very methodical approach from them so far.
Yeah, really patient play there by Vonathil on the Mercy, making sure the path was clear first. Drukeus gets in really steady, holding a point alone.
Yeah, Cow is able to take out Enigma here, and again, following Lynx as Lynx throws down the Pharah shots, trying to take out the Pharah, not able to do it just yet. We actually already have a Mercy res out for the defense, and it's going to be Pharah going down quickly, so a little bit back and forth for both teams, but Enigma freshly resed, doing work, but here comes the res coming out now for the Flat Earth side, and they're going to be following up the Deadeye. Yeah, very interesting position both teams here. You don't usually see a defense on the building like that.
Yeah, it forced Mixup into a weird spot where they had to get away from that high noon and run through the building. And now we're going to see who wins this.
Oh, we got a defensive res again. 2 defensive reses so far in this fight, so Pure has been building reses left, right, and center. Seagull is able to take out Artier, and here comes the Tire. We've seen the Tire do a lot with the Tire.
Tire from Bromos actually goes.
Yeah, I was good. I thought it was Seagull's tire, to be honest. I like switched the tires, like, wait a second, where's the tire? Did it die? No, Bromos's tire comes in, and Flat Earth able to move in and grab the payload, and that's a really nice offensive series from Flat Earth, though a little bit unorthodox.
Yeah, we see the power of Resurrection, and again, Resurrection has been used so strangely by not Enigma, now Mixup throughout the time. They use it very offensively. If one person goes down, they will res that one person, which was always in stark contrast to how Hubris, now Envious, use their Resurrections, but it seems like that's just really how they prefer to play their Mercy.
And I'm going to note here we have Lynx being really far up, pushing, trying to build as much space for Flat Earth as possible as they move forward here. And really doing a lot of good work with that poke. He has to be careful of the other Pharah, though. He does have a Discord Orb. If he gets hit by a single rocket, he's going to die. Ends up dying to a Junkrat bomb instead. Seagull with the double kill there on both Mercy and that. And now damage-boosted Junkrat doing a whole lot of work and pushing back the entirety of the Flat Earth team.
Yeah, beyond that, now this combo is not going to have any answer to him. They just have complete control of the skies right now.
Interesting back and forth coming from both teams here. Flat Earth, they should be able to regroup momentarily, but nice defense from Mix Up the Source, solidify a little bit in the street stage of Kings Row.
Yeah, pretty good time so far, though, for Flat Earth, being able to push really well. The combination is doing a lot. The combo, of course, being the Mercy and the Pharah.
Hang on, we have a tire. Here comes the tire. Look at the tire. Here it comes. Is it gonna get Bromass? Yes, Junkrat on Junkrat violence.
That has been going on all game.
That being said, we do have an Earth Shatter coming down from the attackers. It's going to result in Milo going down. And now Seagull under a little bit of pressure. Has the orb, but still has to be worried about the McCree. McCree actually running for his life. Gets the shot in the back. And now Flat Earth is rolling. So even though it was looking for Mix-Up, Flat Earth able to sort of use superior positioning to their advantage and set a pretty good time thus far.
I mean, we're giving all this attention to these flashy classes with their explosions, but Drukeus has been rock steady for this team, surviving in fights, getting good position to let the team post up behind him. He's been playing Reinhardt really well this game.
Yeah, and take a look at this now coming out from Lynx. Lynx now on Pharah has ultimate. Ultimate's really up for both teams here. It's going to matter of who uses them better. Harblue's able to take out Artier, though, so a little bit of a first strike coming out from Mix-Up to a good extent, but look at Harblue. Harblue's getting chased down by Lynx. Lynx is going to take him down, and now look at this position. He's going to look for a barrage any second now, I feel like.
Yeah, Lynx has to be a little careful, though. He's got the Discord Orb on, and there is a tire coming out for Flat Earth. Gets Mercy.
Yeah, the tire hits the mark. Junkrat tire being a big force today, and now Flat Earth is rolling forward off those few picks.
Yeah.
Started from the tire, and they're rolling through here, and they still have Deadeye. They still have Barrage, although Pharah is quite a bit away. Take a look at this. Oh, a nice stun coming out for Artier. Limits the damage of Harblue's Barrage. Deadeye is out, gonna get mitigated. Seagull taking out the McCree there, so a little bit of back and forth.
So the push not great, but what it did accomplish is it made them burn a lot of ultimates. They had a huge ultimate advantage to Mix Up on defense, and now that it's completely negated, they're going to have time for a more even push as Flat Earth.
Yeah, taking less. Seagull in the back now, a little bit solidified. He does have a tire, and the tire has done so much work. I gotta think we're gonna be seeing a tire any moment now, Hex.
Yeah, you're not gonna see it from Flat Earth, though, as their Junkrat is now on Soldier 76, possibly to try to deal with the threat of the Pharah on Mix-Up.
So Lucio just died to the rando Junkrat spam, and that's got a big support that's down. There won't be a sound bear or anything right now, and Flat Earth actually getting pushed back, and Lynx going forward, but this is a little bit risky, and Seagull takes out another 2 people with the damage boosted Junkrat.
Yeah, Lynx actually goes down there towards the end too, and Mix-Up is now in a really good position to hold this defense forward if they want to, while the cart goes back. And
I think a tire's coming out here.
Forward.
Maybe. We'll see. Interesting use of tire. Sometimes people use tire to, push back and make more space. Other times they'll save it for more important moments. I think Seagull is just saving the tire for perhaps those more important moments. That being said, we had speed boost coming in. Down goes the Earth Shower, gets both supports in the back. Dracaeus swinging his hammer, taking out the entire support backline of Mixup. That was a great play. We do see the tire coming up from Seagull. Is it going to get the value? It does! It kills 3 people with the tire! So just as we were talking about saving the tire, it works out. And that might be the difference between Mixup holding here or not.
That was absolutely filthy. It looked really good. Dracaeus, again, playing really well. Gets in with the Earthshredder, takes on support classes. They have a High Noon coming up, too. And then that tire gets a 3K.
Yeah, that was like, it was so well played by Dracaeus to go in there and pick off both supports. It looked like it was almost certainly going to be a quick cap from Flat Earth. But Seagull saying no with the rip tire, making 3 people very much rip. That makes sense. Offensive Sound Barrier is out. Defensive Transcendence is out. Both teams going crazy here. Charge hits Zenyatta. Down goes Dracaeus. A little bit aggro there, getting taken up by defensive ults. Both teams trading off kills here. Resurrect is up, though, for the offense. Big Resurrect as Pyro takes out 2. Still a bit of a brawl, and it's looking like Mixup is going to hold solid here, Hex.
Yeah, Dracaeus did get res in the backline. He was going after Pure immediately, but he got flashbanged out.
And Pure just res 3 of his own.
Okay, so Flat Earth needs to kind of take a moment here and rethink their strategy for the moment. They are going to be down in ultimates. They've had some really good angles coming in. It's really going to be up to Dracaeus to see what he can do, but never mind. He looked like he was timed out.
Yeah, so taking a look at this, we do have Lynx now in the Genji, so we do have a little bit of switch up. There's no Symmetra to support him, so not the tankiest of Genjis, but he will have the orb, and he's going to be trying to make some stuff happen in the back. Looks like he has a mind towards Zafira as well.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to get into this backline and really try to take down the Zenyatta and the support classes, of course.
So Seagull able to shoot over the Reinhardt shield, took out the Zenyatta, Enigma taking out Bromass, so now 2 people down, but look, 2 people going down the other way, and we might be seeing a rip tire any second now with all this back and forth.
Yeah, the resurrection's really nice, though.
Yeah, the Resurrect is very, very useful.
And that's something interesting to look on the Flat Earth side. They have gone off of the Mercy. They don't have any resurrections now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they decided they didn't want the Mercy for this last push. They decided they wanted the power of Zen and whatnot instead. But Lynx now, he was on Genji. Now he's switching to Junkrat. So initially we had Bromass on Junkrat. Now we have Lynx on Junkrat instead. So Junkrat really proving his power in this game thus far.
Yeah, the compositions are switching all over the place, and actually I don't love that as a great sign from Flat Earth. It kind of seems like they might be a little bit stumped as to what to do here as far as all the switching goes on, but they do have 4 offensive ultimates coming up, so we'll see how they use these in combination.
But with the Resurrect, they're basically going to have to kill them twice unless they get the Mercy early. They get the Mercy early, it's a different ball game, but right now, Pierre's in position to love resing. Soundbear comes out for the offense, Earthshare for the defense with 3 quick kills, but let's take a look at Pierre. Does Pierre have the...
God, another 3K tire!
Yeah, and Pierre was able to get the res off at the very last moment. Still back and forth here in general, but the tire is going to really buy Mixup a lot of time here, and I'm not sure if Flat Earth can get this. I mean, they're still threatening, but this is going to be hard.
That's absolutely a brutal tire, and you know, maybe the strategy of going after Mercies and supports is not the right one. They kind of have to focus Seagull. They have lost 2 pushes by enormous tires.
The tire is just a much harder to kill on reaction now, especially when it comes up over a side or anything like that. That being said, both teams trading off kills here. Hardblue team both pair kills, Artillery 2 kills. Oh no, is that another tire? It is. Gets taken out quickly there. Not a value tire this time around. Lots of back and forth. Seagull going to die there.
Yeah, but, it looked like a little bit of panic going on from Flat Earth, but what Flat Earth has going with it, a lot of offensive ultimates up. Lynx has his tire, Dracaeus with Earthshatter. They have the tools to be able to push this to the end.
And we're going to see if we're going to see a little bit of revenge of the tire here coming out from Lynx. Lynx, of course, on the receiving end of the Seagull's tires for most of this game. Maybe can find a good position here and do the tire, and it looks like... Tire could be coming out any second now, I feel like.
Yeah, it's much more difficult to get it in on offense on this map, but we'll see if Lynx can work some magic and climb some walls.
Oh no, he didn't climb the walls. He just ended up using a Heartblue. It takes out Heartblue, but might not have been exactly what he wanted.
Offensive Transcendence comes in, Earthshatter comes in. They're looking for a giant push here. They have to sell out for it.
The Earthshatter wasn't quite what they wanted, though. Seagull able to get 2 kills on the rebound. Now 5 kills for Mixup, and Mixup, I don't even think we're going to see another tire here because, as I say that. The tire will kill no one.
That tire buff is kind of like a side note in the patch. Like, oh yeah, we also gave the tire a little more HP, but it has been absolutely crucial. That extra HP gives it that extra little burst of life, and it just was dirty this game.
Yep, well, I think we're going to see the 4-person tire here. Take a look. This is really where they were threatening, and really, I think Flat Earth could have won here, but take a look at this. The tire got in, takes out 3 people, and that was that.
It's a lot of damage.
Yep.
But Jacreus played really well. Their Reinhardt, I thought, was the core of their team. A couple of the Earthshatters towards the end didn't connect exactly how we wanted them to, but the reason they won a couple of those early fights, and we give a lot of the credit to the fancy damage classes, but he was steady in there. He had his shield up. He wasn't taking unnecessary damage. His positioning was good. The angles were well. Jacreus played really well.
Yeah, no, Jacreus had good stuff, and really, I feel like looking at that last fight that we just saw at the tire, he almost got robbed a little bit by the tire because he got in on the back line, threw down an Earthshatter, took out both supports with that Earthshatter, but it doesn't matter when 3 of your team goes rip to the rip tire.
Yeah, it just looked like there was some confusion on what strategies they wanted to pull out against that on last point because they were mixing it up so often. Now, you'll see teams mix up towards specific strategies and try to counter pick and pick, but it seemed like it was almost a little bit of confusion and they didn't know exactly what they wanted to use to crack that. A lot of switch ups on the same last point. Getting off the Mercy might not have been the smartest idea, but it's really hard to tell at that point. All in all, though,
Well,
a pretty good showing from Flat Earth.
To be honest, the Mercy Res is pretty good against tire just because of the fact that when a tire kills stuff, it doesn't mean that there's people there immediately ready to kill all the people that the tire just killed. So, you know, tire comes in and kills 3 people. If one of those people isn't Mercy, Mercy can come in and sort of undo some of the damage.
Right, yeah,
but
because the tire's effective when they're grouped up, and Resurrection's also very effective when people are grouped up.
yeah,
So-
I mean, truth be told, Res is pretty good against it. Surprised if we don't see more Mercy just to deal with all the resurgence of the Junkrat tire. So taking a look at the defense as it comes out, we got for the Flat Earth team, we got R tier on the McCree again, Kawa on the Lucio, Dracaeus on the Reinhardt, Bromass on the Junkrat, Lynx on the Reaper, and Vonathil rounding things out in Symmetra.
It looks like Mixup is going to run an offensive Widowmaker, and that's going to be played by Enigma. Hardblue is going to rock Pharah. Milo actually might be on McCree. I feel confident in saying that Seagull will be playing Junkrat, and your supports will be played by Pure on the Mercy and Puro on Zenyatta.
Yep. So we are going to be seeing the return of the offensive Widow. Curious to see what it does here. It's not quite 6 Hanzo's Hex, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, what is 6 Hanzos anyway?
The greatest thing ever.
Enigma, you know, this is a strategy I always liked on this map since day one, is putting a Widowmaker for at least his first point. It looks like it's just absolutely free opportunity for picks up top.
Yeah, and he actually almost picked off the Lucio. If he was full... no, he was full charge, just Lucio had the Symmetra Shield, so still need to get the headshot when Symmetra Shield doesn't play. He's going to get damage boost now and see what he can do. Very much Mix-Up right now reliant on getting picks as they're running the Widow. And they're just taking their time. They know all they need to do is complete the map to win, so they're not in a huge hurry. They're looking for their openings and so forth. Enigma very close to picking off the Junkrat. That would have been huge, as Junkrat, early spam from him, took out Hardblue just a second ago.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know about giving them a lot of time here. You know, if they know that they're running a Symmetra, time is not on their side. You don't want to get that Symmetra time to charge up and get a teleporter.
Yeah, it's
they
but
charge
so
in
much
and
is
take
dependent.
out 3 though. They took out Pure and Milo in that. Enigma does get a pick on R tier, but it's really not much.
Yeah, a little bit of a tentative showing here of a Mix-Up to begin with. They were really just looking for the pick-off. They weren't able to get it, but they're going to be able to regroup here and go again. They'll have at least one more shot before...
Yeah,
no, Symmetra Teleport is already up, actually, so they're going to need to deal with that. They're not running the... We don't see Flat Earth running the Melty Teleporter where they wait till the very end.
No, against a team like Mix-Up, it's way too risky with how aggressive Mix-Up can be, especially with a sniper up too, trying to get picks.
So we have 2 people down here, and oh no! Enigma gets charged down by Dracaeus. The Resurrect is going to come out. That was a nice charge by Dracaeus. I mean, sure, he died, but he got his pound of flesh before going out.
Yeah, cleaned up the backline. It's going to be surprising, too, to see who actually even takes the teleport in the back. Dracaeus has mobility issues. He can get up there, and that they do have someone in the back line, too.
Mix-Up is slowly making progress here. I feel like Flat Earth is losing control of this situation. It's been a slow burn, but they do pick up 2 kills. They are coming back in. Milo going to take out the Lucio, and oh no. The tire is out again. And that's a defensive tire coming up from Bromass. Bromass takes out Milo, almost got the Mercy, was a little bit away from that.
Yeah, Pure able to escape. The barrage does come down and takes out Lynx, who is now on a Tracer.
Yeah, we have a defensive sound barrier coming out, though, so really it's a lot of back and forth here. It's kind of interesting. I feel like, I don't know, on some level it feels like Mixup should have already been able to take this, but it's a very almost rope-a-dope defense coming out from Flat Earth. They're defending really far back, and it's kind of working.
You know, really the only progress they've been able to make is by sending Harblue back into these back lines and pulling them a little bit out of position, which they did just there. So now Seagull is able to take some presence on the point, but as the team takes care of Harblue in the back, they're going to be able to come and defend this point.
Oh, take a look at this. Lynx has Zenyatta in his sights, and he's going to force out the Transcendence. That works well for him, but oh, Enigma with the pickoff is able to immediately take out Lynx. And now Enigma with a perfect sniping position, misses 2 shots, still looking to take things out. Earthshatter comes down from Dracaeus.
He has to stand on it. He has to stand on it. Too late.
Yep, here comes the Tire. The Tire's going to make a lot of space. Mixup will take the point, and the Tire is going to relentlessly hunt down Symmetra. So
it's the most helpless feeling in the game, being a low mobility character and hearing that Tire get louder and louder.
Yep. So Mixup finally takes point A. Took them a little bit longer, I think, than it took Flat Earth. And we'll see how Flat Earth does in the streets here. The streets, it's really weird. Sometimes teams get stuck here forever, and other times they just fly right through it. It seems like a very binary setup.
I feel like it's kind of changed. In Phase 1, streets used to be like how King's Row was defined, how a team was able to deal with it. But in Phase 2 of the beta, teams seem to have it figured out, and this is a very interesting defense. They were going very far back.
Yeah, Lynx and Art here already getting 2 kills here. I'm watching Milo. Milo setting up for Deadeye here, but a little bit... not able to immediately prepare for what the defense is doing, but he takes out Dracaeus with the hammer to the back, and here comes Mixup again.
Yeah, Artier able to take out his counterpart and then Seagull, but the resurrection brings him back to life.
The resurrection come up, and if this McCree goes down, the Riptire's gonna be coming out right after. I'm feeling it. Or maybe not. I mean, it's one of those things where usually, okay, we got into building, killed someone, let's go. They're actually gonna save it for a little bit longer here.
Yeah, you're like 0 for 2 calling Seagull's Riptires. Maybe yours not in his head, man.
Apparently not. So taking a look at this, Harblue is going to take out Lynx. Bromass going to take out Harblue, a little bit back and forth, but the payload is still moving, and here comes a Riptire. Riptire takes out 76, a good clean kill. And now Dracaeus in a little bit of trouble here as he gets taken out, but look at Art here from the back with a double kill. It's like, by the way, I'm McCree, as he mops up a decent portion of the Mixup team.
Yeah, Dracaeus is playing so well that, you know, you barely even notice that he's running solo tank, and solo tank is becoming part of the new meta with so much damage classes into this. Only 1 tank on either team, which is actually a little bit notable considering what we've seen in the last few weeks.
Yep. So taking a look at this, we see that... A little bit of switch up here, and Artier almost takes out Harblue, but no, he gets a little bit destroyed by the RNG, does not get all the final hits that he needs there, and Harblue's able to escape unscathed. That's kind of unfortunate they didn't get that pick there, because Harblue, of course, we've seen him do great things, and now he can heal up and look for a barrage.
Yeah, they're really keeping an eye on that left side, though. They're running both their flankers over there to make sure they're not going to get barrage out of nowhere, and they know Harblue's lurking around there right now.
Yep. Taking a look at this, we see... Again, Harblue coming around the back, and we haven't seen any big barrages of him today. I mean, he's been known for having just gigantic barrages, but look at this. Dracaeus going deep in, gets a kill on Milo, and the defensive Flat Earth going very deep in.
Out, more importantly.
Yeah, like Dracaeus might die for that, but even then, he's actually getting away. Nice defense coming from Flat Earth, and now... With only 2 minutes left, they have a decent chance of holding and winning map 1.
This defense looked really good. They have almost all their ultimates up, except for a teleporter, and the teleporter might be down somewhere. It is down somewhere, so they have everything up that they need.
Yep.
You know, we
really
might not
nice.
see the barrages that we used to see because we're not seeing any Zarya today.
Yeah, Zarya's, of course, set up, but hang on. Harblue's going to look around the back right now as we speak, I think. Here he comes in, he's coming in, he's got to be looking for the barrage, but the sound barrier is making this not optimal. He's just going to go down, and look at the dive coming out from Flat Earth. They're going to wipe out Mixup again.
Yeah, this is just really impressive play out of Flat Earth. Now, Pure had his resurrection up, but was in no position to bring everyone back to life. That's actually a pretty good decision to not bring them back to life, to watch them immediately die. And look how far forward this defense is able to hold now.
Yeah, the payload has actually gone really far back, and Flat Earth has been bringing some next-level defense to King's Row.
Yeah, they would love to hold here rather than where they were before, just so they don't have to worry about the flank and the threat of barrage.
Yep. And again, take a look here. We do have Junkrat's fan coming at, but look at Lynx! Lynx in the back, getting multiple kills as Tracer, but the Resurrect comes down. Oh, I was gonna say nullifies Vivid. Art here with the follow-up on the Deadeye, kills everyone that was just resurrected by Pure. So the momentum in this game has been firmly in Flat Earth's favor.
Yeah, Link's just going to town. Now, Seagull still has this Riptire up, and it seems like a lot of times that Junkrats will hold this Riptire for those crucial moments, but you wonder if he couldn't have had 1 or 2 off by now.
So Flat Earth, they've been bringing it and then some. So now only 30 seconds remain for Mixup, and they need to make this next push to go in. They need a good Riptire, they need a good barrage, and they just need to fly through here to get to the point and keep the map going.
Yeah, getting super aggressive. They are running
no,
more
Winston is
tanks
going
now.
in. Okay, here comes the tire. Hardblue with 2 kills off the barrage. And here comes the tire. Tire's trying to round it up. It will take out Lucio in the back. So a very promising setup here coming up from Mixup, but they still have to bring the cart a little decent way of forward.
Yeah, they changed their tanks. They went off of Reinhardt and added in a Diva and a Winston with much more stronger initiation and just chaos causing. The teleporter is up, though, allowing Flat Earth to reinforce.
Yeah, and the defensive sound barrier is out. We see the Earth Shatter coming down. Pyro getting smashed into the back. Even though he was in Transcendence, he still gets brought forward. And now, again, the last cast of Mixup might not be enough, as Flat Earth is going to take map number 1, Kings Row, with a very strong defense after the first point. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they really held those streets very, very well. And then when they were able to push up, they wanted to hold far forward. And Lynx absolutely cleaned up, and Dracaeus again had a hell of a game.
Yeah, Dracaeus, I mean, he has been very impressive on Reinhardt this entire day. And it's interesting because...
Symmetra. Look at this.
Symmetra, when she can actually just get in people's face and left click, does a lot of damage.
Yeah, wow, that was impressive. Yeah, they ran the Symmetra. You know, that's something maybe we didn't notice during the game, but a lot of teams would have switched off that Symmetra after first point, and they ran it. Everyone had their shield buffs. The teleporter close to the end, right behind the second point, actually really helped them secure that second point too. So Symmetra doing a lot of work.
Absolutely. So we're gonna be switching back here. It's going to be Mixup's choice of map. I believe the other 2 maps were, what was it? I think it was Nambani and Dorado. I might be wrong on that.
I think Dorado was it. I was associated.
Dorado was definitely in it. So that will be Mixup's call for what they want to bring the next map to. But man, I thought Mixup had a pretty good chance of winning it there after their great defense in the last point. But then Flat Earth just comes back and says, you know what, you can defend there. Well, we're going to take it up a notch and defend here. And it looks like we are, in fact, going to Dorado.
Nice. I love me some Dorado.
Dorado's awesome. So many reasons.
But that is a map that we, in Phase 1 of Beta, we associated with Not Enigma. And, you know, for our purposes, I think we're just going to conflate Not Enigma with Mixup, even though the rosters, I think, is about 50% of the previous roster. But they are kind of all of the same ilk, same brought up, all the TF2 players, and they've always played really well on Dorado. Dorado, though, again, another great Symmetra map, and we saw how strong she was for Flat Earth last map.
Absolutely. So, as while we have a brief moment of downtime, I'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Matcherino, of course, one of our sponsors for the stream today, is also providing a great crowdfunding solution at Matcherino.com. You can donate $1 absolutely free using coupon code GGEU, and you can leave a fun message. So just to show what people have done thus far, as we wait for people to do their bio breaks on it. You can see all the donations that come in here. Tyroplex, of course, donating a very generous $10 on top of that. And some obscene messages. Sorry about that. Scrolling up. Harbaloo Forehead, Pure Let Me Be Your Waifu, Hanzo's Theorem. So some really cool stuff people are coming up with here. But definitely, it's a cool way to support your favorite teams as you watch them brawl it out in Overwatch.
What a really lame offensive message too. Like, I don't mind when people are offensive if it's somewhat original, but that's just sad. I feel sad for you. But yeah, some really interesting messages, and of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't, give props to the actual donators, Tyroplix and Melon, who are throwing their own money in. Melon, I'm really rooting for you, buddy. I hope to see some May as well. May, please, heart. I know, man. I want to see some May as well. And then there's someone who says, I'm sick and poor. There's only one team that deserves this money. And you're right. Technically, only one team does deserve your money. But actually, aren't we breaking down? Top team gets 240. Second team gets 120. Then we split the extra proceeds as well go to those teams. So second place is actually taking home some cash today for the first time. Yeah,
so 240 to the first place team, 120 to the second place team, plus more based on what people do on the Matcherino website.
Yeah, and then of course we do want to mention that Matcherino has been great, and we're very happy to be looking forward to them. But back to our roots, Rocket has been with us from the very beginning. Of course, you see their advertisements up on our stream, and we love Rocket. They make fine stuff for your computer. And then DX Racer jumped on board with us a couple weeks ago as well, and we're very happy to have them as sponsors. So thanks to all our sponsors, the reason we're able to do these weeklies every single week, and why we're here today, and hopefully tomorrow as well. And hope you're enjoying the show. None of this would be possible without you people tuning in, and we very much appreciate it.
So we're getting right into Dorado. This is map number 2, Flat Earth versus Mixup. Flat Earth drawing first blood, going up 1-0 over Mixup in a very, very impressive defensive hold, and we'll just see what they bring out this time.
Yeah, it's a team that's kind of rising, and we see these players around from different rosters. Drakea has played really well, and we've seen these players on several different rosters, and we saw them kind of beat up through the European scene, beat up SG1, beat up G2 on their way to win a tournament a couple weeks ago, and they've been making kind of semis recently as well, and now going toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in NA in Mixup on the European servers, of course. Let's make sure we mention that as well, but a very good showing from Flat Earth, and they're definitely an emerging team to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. So taking a look at the defensive setup coming out for Mixup, we got Pure on the Mercy, Enigma on the Torbjorn, Milo on Reinhardt, Pyro on the Symmetra, Seagull, of course, on Junkrat, and Harblu on the Pharaoh. So I feel like, again, we sort of see that McCree not necessarily as valued by Mixup as other teams are going with the entire explosive defense setup again. And we'll see just how it works out here. But I will say the damage boosted Junkrat has been doing a lot of work in these games.
Yeah, and he's just going to kind of rain hell on them as this point starts off, too. It's just really hard to even push out when all those bombs are coming in. The reload's quick enough, the spam's quick enough, and they do so much damage that if you're a light class and you catch an errant bomb, that's just the end of your life right there. So a very defensive roster coming up here, and offensive Widowmaker looks to make a dent in this.
Yep, offensive Widowmaker. It's going to have to go through the Reinhardt shield, which can be easier said than done at times. So, take a list. We see the Junkrat spam coming out. It's even though you can't see the actual effect from the Junkrat's point of view, let me assure you, it is effective.
Yeah, this arch can be really brutal here. They're going to try to get a couple picks going through here, but it's really tough to break through this offensively, but they're doing their best here.
They're sort of winning the positioning war without doing it. And oh no! Lynx with a big pick on Harblu, and now this is going to let Flat Earth be way more aggressive on this first push, Hex.
Here comes Drakea' charge, and he hits his counterpart, and Milo moves him out of position, and now the
Bromask from the back. He's raining death from above. He's already picked up 2 kills. Can he make it a third? And down goes Seagull. That's a whole bunch of people down for Mixup, and now Flat Earth looking very dominant on this first capture point for Dorado.
This is absolutely one-sided. That teleporter was able to go down and then gets killed absolutely immediately. That is a super quick cap on first.
Yep. So, taking a look at this here, Flat Earth making their presence known, and now we have 2 divas coming out for defense. I don't think we've seen this.
Not since we saw Not Enigma play last.
Yeah, so 2 divas. I don't even know what to make of this. We do have a Junkrat tire that is on command here potentially, and I gotta see this double diva defense. This is interesting. Here comes the tire. Tire comes down, takes out 2 people, and led by the 2 divas. Now Flat Earth find themselves getting knocked back a bit. So a little bit interesting play and a better hold coming out from Mixup.
Yeah, again, Mixup prioritizing this high ground and playing with divas. They really do love Diva as a tank, mostly because of her mobility and the shields. And because Winston's been nerfed, we're going to see a lot more divas right now.
Yep. So, we have Flat Earth still rolling forward, able to sort of weather a bit of the defensive storm. Lots of poke coming out, though, from Mixup. And ultimate-wise, we have a lot more offensive ults than not. And down goes Harblu. That was basically the only defensive ult short of Rez. Nice shots from Lynx and R-Tier there. The Rez will come up just for Harblu, but the ultimate situation very much favors it. And R-Tier takes out Pure with a 2-shot. Here comes the Deadeye, and R-Tier is on fire.
Yeah, playing really well, and he gets Seagull to finish it off, too. And this is one of those situations that the Resurrection is super aggressive from Mixup. They use it all the time to bring up one hero, 2 hero. They like fighting at full health more often than not, but you have to wonder if holding it a little longer there for after that carnage would have really helped them hold, because now they're in a tough position to even try to hold this second point.
Yeah, and take a look at this. The ultimate situation still very much favors the offense here. They have everything up except Deadeye.
Yeah,
they have Rez.
The Diva is going to stall out this cart, though. That's what she's so good at.
Yeah, and we see them coming in. The offensive sound barrier is up. Lynx and Drageus gonna pick up a kill each. Lynx making it a double as Flat Earth just continues rolling in here. And again, they still have Res and they still have Barrage. So the ultimate situation a little bit more even out, but that was a great series of pushes coming out from Flat Earth.
Yeah, Seagull with his tire up, which we've seen can be game-changing. Resurrection is up for both sides right now, too.
Yep. So, again, Flat Earth, this has been so dominant from them. Not really expecting this, and I wonder if this is the case where maybe the defense needed the McCree. I don't know. I mean, this is just good execution all around there. We might be seeing a Rip Tire soon coming out from Mixup, but they gotta do something soon. And that being said, that is going to be the Rip Tire coming out. Here comes the Tire going to the back, going to take out Vonethil. Not much more than that, but still effective.
Yeah, really smart priority target, though, because that takes out their Resurrection. If they want to continue fighting here, they're going to only have one life to do it in, but they are just on the cart.
Look at R tier. I mean, maybe should change his name to S tier or something, because he's been great this game. He does get taken out. Hard Blue helping to clean up the situation a little bit with a triple kill, but R tier has been on point and then some this game.
But this is the first time that Mixup's been able to actually catch their breath, but it's not going to last very long as there are 4 offensive alts up, all like super aggressive damage alts as well.
They do have defensive Transcendence. Transcendence is one of the better alts of doing this. It might just cancel out the auto aim that's almost certainly going to come in from Lynx here in a second. But we will see. Taking out R tier. R tier, he is just so deep in, but he gets taken out by Milo. Yeah, that's a big loss. I think he might get rezzed here. Let's take a look at Vonethil. Vonethil is thinking about it. The Resurrect does come up. R tier is back in the game. A nice res coming in from Vonethil, and now a little bit of fights back and forth. But here comes the defensive res. Here comes the Deadeye. R tier takes out one. Enigma doing his best to try and hang on, and we do see Enigma now on the McCree. A little bit back and forth for both teams here, but the momentum is in Flat Earth's favor.
Well, it was. Hard Blue does use his barrage to try to hold it down. Drakeus,
oh, Drakeus
off of the point. The Tire is coming in, though.
The Tire takes out Lynx. Drakeus, though, still making his presence known as he swings the hammer, takes out Farah, swings the hammer. Is he going to take out Mercy? He does take out Mercy. Drakeus is going nuts here. But now it's only Vonethil versus Seagull. I think the Mercy Seagull, or the Mercy Junkrat matchup is a little bit in favor of the Junkrat.
Yeah, Vonethil was trying to come in and save Drakeus and maybe grab that point, but reinforcements are there a little too quick. Milo's switch on a Roadhog has been really helpful in taking out these key targets early. They're also running their own McCree now as well.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're running McCree on defense. I think McCree gives a lot more just solid damage, especially when things go wrong. We see RTR again being really aggressive, going out behind the shield. Seagull, though, is able to take out Kawa, and now Mixup might feel a little bit more empowered to chase us in. Enigma wants to take out R-Tier. He's firing every last bullet against him, trying to get rid of the problem. Not quite able to do it yet. Oh, the Tire from Seagull takes out 3 people.
Yeah, these Tires have been dirty. There's no other way to say it. They've been absolutely sick. That's his 3rd 3K Tire in the last 2 or 3 maps. Just insanity coming out of Seagull.
I think it's a little bit weird is that sometimes it makes a tire noise and sometimes it doesn't. That was a stealth tire. I think the players probably heard it, but from the observer point of view, we did not.
Yeah, we've had some weird observer sounds going on this match. I'm hearing mostly Reinhardt yelling at me. It's been fun.
Well, get on the payload and let's go. That being said, looking at the alts here, we do have the defensive alts up for Flat Earth as they go in here. They're going to drop the sound barrier. They have Rez on point. Bromas has got to be looking for a barrage. R-Tier takes out Milo. That being said, we do have the Tire coming out again for Seagull. It charges so quickly. He's going to the back. It gets killed, though. R-Tier able to take out the Tire. He doesn't just kill players, folks. He kills tires as R-Tier is going ham in the back line again. And he has Mercy aside. Is able to take out the Mercy after taking out the Tire. Throws down the Deadeye for spacing. And Flat Earth going to cap the final point. Pretty good time coming out from them. I think Mixup had good defense towards the end, but what about R-Tier, Hex? He was everywhere that game.
Yeah, he played really well. This is going to be that dirty 3K, of course, but a really nice time. Although it could have been a lot better, Mixup was able to hold a really nice final point here.
That Tire, man. That Tire.
I think part of the trick of the Tire lately, and we've seen it from Seagull, is to not try to get too cute with it, because last week we saw, I think, Pluppy play a little bit of Seagull, and he was trying to climb walls and go really weird places, but Seagull just uses it as kind of a bazooka option. It only traveled about 5 or 6 feet there, and he blows it up immediately to make sure he gets that debt off. So kind of just a more straightforward approach to tiring, if you will, from Seagull has resulted in some sick kills.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, also, you can treat the tire as more of a blunt force object now too. Before it had 50 HP and you had to be sneaky. Now it has 3 times the amount of HP, so it's not something you always have to be too sneaky on.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something that's much harder to kill. Your team has to be focused on it. It's much more of a team-related problem now than just, oh, there's a tire, one person can shoot it. So definitely a more impactful ult than it was last week, for sure. We're seeing it right now. Seagull's just wrecking 3 people at a time with it multiple times, but a pretty solid time from Flat Earth. I was impressed with their first 2 pushes. Mixup was able to garner a defense together, in part because of Milo's really nice Roadhog play, eliminating some of R-Tier's dominance, but it's a difficult time for Mixup to beat.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those times where it's beatable. I mean, anytime it's 7 minutes or above, it's definitely a beatable time, but it's a low 7 minutes time. So Mixup is really going to have to bring a high octane offense here. They're going to need to move quickly. They can't get stuck at the first point for very long, and they just need to move with great haste, and they can take this and force a map 3. They have it in them.
Hey, do you see what I see?
I see what I see it. It's not just a Watch Point Gibraltar thing. They're bringing it out. The 2 Zenyatas, the Symmetra, the Tracer Genji. Oh, man, this is going to be good, Hex.
Yeah, it's going to be something to watch for sure, and we're going to see if Flat Earth can identify and respond to this quickly enough. Right now, they're running a pretty standard composition. Now, I do like the Reaper on it. Reaper's going to be able to chunk through some of those squishy targets, even with the orb on him. And again, it's going to be a matter of if Vonethil can get that teleporter up and get the value out of the Symmetra. The nice thing about running a Symmetra into this type of thing is that the sentries will tell you where those crazy buffed flank classes are coming from, and it will slow and damage them a little bit, which in turn charges your ultimate.
So take a look at the defense coming out from Flat Earth. We got Lynx on the Reaper, R-Tier on the McCree, Kawa on the Lucio, Vonethil on the Symmetra, Drakeus on the Reinhardt, and Bromass on the 76.
Our tankless composition from Mixup is going to feature Enigma on Tracer. Hardblue is going to run the Symmetra, Pure and Puro on Zenyatas. Both Seagull is going to run the Genji, and Milo, of course, on Roadhog.
Yep. So, I think this is going forward here. We see that Enigma's already in the back, drawing a lot of attention. So this is sort of the heart of this offense, is that both the Genji and Tracer have to be accounted for, and they're really hard to kill because they have the shields, they have the orbs, and it's just difficult. We see Lynx is able to take out the Roadhog pretty quickly there. He picks up a double, now a triple kill. So while the Tracer and the Genji were in the back, Lynx just said, screw it, we're going to dive on your team. And they made it very successful. So now Seagull might be back here with an orb, but his entire team is dead. He can't do much with that.
I think that is the successful way to shut down this composition, is you deal with the flankers, but you don't prioritize the flankers. You don't make them the focus, because both of them are super mobile, super difficult to kill. You go straight to the source of the power and you go to their back lines and shut down their Zenyatas.
Yeah. Really nice stuff coming from Flat Earth. They've bought themselves a lot of time so far. They need to keep doing that. We see Seagull in the back, has a teleporter in the sights. It's going to dispatch a teleport immediately. There will be no teleporter hold thus far. And Seagull with the deflection kill on the Lynx. Good stuff. He's being a real distraction in the backfield. And now, while this is happening, look at the rest of Mixup. They're coming in. No, Seagull gets taken out by Symmetra. Symmetra's scary, man.
Vonethil's Symmetra has been absolutely crazy, just as far as the damage goes, but there is an offensive Symmetra coming in. They have a teleporter up, actually, and they've taken complete control of this archway.
Yeah, they're coming in, and the offensive teleporter cannot be understated. It's really good for keeping pressure on. That being said, Lynx takes out Hardblue, might have the teleporter in his sights as well, as Enigma's in the back, trying to make something happen. Has to dodge the hammer. Pulse bombs Drakeus, takes him out. Nice Tracer play coming up for Enigma. Seagull picking up a pair of kills himself. And I believe Mixup is just going to roll to this first checkpoint. Yeah,
it is such a snowbally composition. I wonder if we're going to see some switches. Vonethil might stay on the Symmetra. He has been known to stay on it a little longer than most. He did have his teleporter up, but chose to go off on a Mercy as well, as they are bleeding characters. Lynx comes up as Tracer, which I really like. Try to get to that back line.
We're seeing a Tracer coming in. So now this is a... Tracers on both sides. Pretty interesting. Seagull is able to take out Drakeus. Drakeus not having the best of rounds thus far, getting really flanked and focus fired a lot. It might just be the Reinhardt might be a little bit too immobile against this really aggressive Tracer Genji offense.
Yeah, oddly enough, I think the best tank in this situation might be a Winston. Even despite his nerfs, he's just able to lock on and do the damage to these jumping beans, if you will, of the Tracer and the Genji.
We got Tracer v Tracer going on here. Enigma has the orb, however, I don't believe Lynx has an orb. So that's going back and forth. Seagull able to take out Bromas. A little bit of back and forth here, but look at this. The Dragon Blade is out. Seagull goes down, however. A little bit of back and forth, and I don't even know who's going to win this thus far, Hex.
Yeah, Drakeus did get a pretty decent initiation off. The Sound Barrier saves them both from the Pulse Bomb, though, but Kawa and Vonathil in tough positions. Alone as supports is not where you want to be. Hooks and kills go around both sides. Enigma cleans up that mess, and they are rolling. This is such a snowbally composition. You have to imagine you're going to see some changes out of Flat Earth shortly.
So, we do see Artier now looking for the flanking High Noon. But no, Milo saying no, going to pull him out and take him out. So, again, this is really nice time being set thus far by Mixup. They have 3.5 minutes to bring it to the final point. Really good stuff coming out from them, and thus far, Flat Earth has not had an answer for this support-heavy composition of Mixup.
No, and as good as Drakeus has been on Reinhardt, you have to wonder if maybe his inability to switch to a different tank is something they have to be concerned with, because he's staying on Reinhardt, who is looking absolutely futile against this
And look at the momentum right now. They just got wiped out again. This has been a absolutely furious pace being set by Mixup. They have Flat Earth basically camped in their base, and they have all the time in the world to bring this up. They have 3 minutes. Even if they get wiped right here, they gotta feel good about their positioning, and they have the offensive transcendence. It's gonna come out right now with the Dragon Blade. Mixup smells blood in the water. They want to take this right now. Seagull takes out Lucio. A little bit back and forth. Lynx and Bromas trying to keep in this. Back and forth, though. It is going in favor of Mixup. Lynx doing his best there, but take a look. There's still members of Mixup on the cart.
Mixup's map right now.
I think they're going to get it, and they do. They beat the time set by Flat Earth with astonishing haste. 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. It doesn't matter. Mixup has evened up the series, and we're going to go to a third and final map 3.
Yeah, just an absolute inability to adjust to the composition they were facing from Flat Earth. I don't like a lot of the hero picks they had at the end trying to deal with these ultra mobile heroes. Maybe chat's right, maybe a May is good at this, but I really don't think Reinhardt was the right tank to run in that situation, especially as the single tank. Watching him swat at the air with a hammer trying to kill Tracer and Genji was painful to watch. He did block a lot of damage, but I just think there could have been better choices there made, and the composition overall, not just on the tank position, either from Flat Earth. And once that composition from Mixup got rolling, man, it's so snowballing and so hard to deal with. They were never able to set their defense again.
Yep. So, a nice response coming out from Mixup after a somewhat disappointing King's Row. I mean, the defense from Flat Earth on King's Row is amazing, but Mixup said, you know what, we're going to come out with our secret weapon, a slightly modified composition from what we saw from IDDQD the other day, and they did a lot of work with that. No standardization required.
Yeah, it looks really good. They hit the hooks, and it just, a lot of times they never really got to a full defense because they were getting picked off and chased down in the kills, and that's what that really aggressive kind of flanky backline composition does for you. There were many times where it was just the supports alive alone trying to keep each other alive, then they would die, then everyone else comes up, and it wasn't enough. I think, I'm not just bashing Drakeus, but I just don't think Reinhardt is the answer to that, because you're not facing frontal damage. He's really good against straight up compositions, but when you have characters who are jumping behind you and you're getting double discorded by 2 Zenyatas, I mean, you need maybe a Zarya, even though she kind of got nerfed. A Winston would be kind of okay there just to try to track down the people who are killing you. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, Zarya maybe. The only thing about Zarya, of course, is that both Genji and Tracer can get out of Graviton Surge relatively easily. Maybe even a Diva would have been bad. It's a little bit of a hard thing as a tank because, again, you're getting flanked from all sides. It's not the most traditional play. Winston, of course, got nerfed, so yeah, it's just a little bit interesting. I mean, actually, a Roadhog probably would have been fine if you think about it. Where Roadhog, because Roadhog can hook the Genji and get him killed. You can hook the Tracer and get her killed. So yeah, both those characters have ways of avoiding hooks, but if they do get hit by the hook, it's basically an insta kill and shuts down a lot of what the offense is banking on. So maybe a Roadhog over Reinhardt would have been a little bit better. It's hard to say.
But,
so both teams right now.
Just one map, and now we're going to map 3.
Map 3 will be Hollywood, by the way. So right now, both teams just sort of figuring out what side is going to be which as we go into a third and definitive map number 3 in our semifinals.
It's been everything we kind of expected. Flat Earth playing really well, maybe surprising some people out there who don't watch the insane amounts of Overwatch that we get to. But Flat Earth is a team that we think can beat almost any team. They've showed it already. They can beat Mixup. Still struggling against this tankless, well, not tankless anymore, but mostly tankless composition, the very flanky double Zenyatta composition coming out of Mixup. And you have to think right now that they're going to be trying to find answers, but this is a map that Mixup looked really good on as well.
Yep. And while we have a moment of downtime as teams decide that, I'd like to point out that we still have our Matcherino crowdfunding site still up. You can go there and donate $1 for free, matcherino.com. Find the GosuGamers Overwatch weekly tournament. Donate $1 for free with code GGEU. We're really, really close to $400 for the tournament today, which is more than advertised. So definitely check that out. Help us hit at least 400, and all of it, of course, goes to the players.
Yeah, and some of our top donors too. We're actually getting some people throwing some cash on top of our GG.EU dollar coupon. Uncanny Luck says May equals Bay. A lot of May love in here too. A lot of love for Mixup too. Time to flatten Flat Earth. The flock must live, says Munchie's Good. Tossed in $7. So, and of course, this is a great donation. Free $1. Yep, that's right. It is a free $1 donated thanks to Matcherino.com with the code GGEU. If you feel like tossing more on that, awesome. That goes right to the teams, and we appreciate it. And then, of course, the sponsors have been with us from the beginning of time, Rocket and DX Racer as well. We're just kind of pushing you towards Matcherino because that's a way for you guys to interact and donate towards it. But if you feel that you don't want to donate and want to spend that money on hardware or chairs as well, I would recommend those two companies for your business.
So we're getting the Hollywood. This is the third and decisive map number 3, Flat Earth versus Mixup. And it's going to be Mixup on defense first. And really, Hex, defense has been the name of the game on Hollywood. We've seen some great defensive subs, both on point A, in the streets, even on the last point. And I'm just curious to see what team will have the better defense here, because I feel like that wins this map more often than not.
Yeah, the last point defense is kind of strange, though, because no one's really setting up the static defenses. You see a lot of Bastions and non-competitive play running this last point, which is hard to deal with. But pretty much the defense becomes, let's try to hold these rooftops in whatever way necessary, but you're not seeing defensive characters to do it. The first point defense, however, is very much static. We're often seeing Symmetra and Torbjorn, and it looks like we'll probably see at least a Torbjorn out of Mixup so far.
Yeah, the Torbjorn, very much, we've seen a lot of Torbjorn Symmetra. I gotta imagine that P-Rose gonna be on the Symmetra. He might have gotten disconnected, it's hard to say, but we look at the full defensive setup here. We got Pure on the Mercy, Enigma on the Torbjorn, Milo on the Reinhardt, Pure on Shadow Popeye, question mark, Seagull on the Junkrat, and Harblu on the Reaper.
Yeah, Harblu on Reaper is kind of a new twist. They're not necessarily running Pharah yet, but it's a little too early to lock that down. On offense, it looks like Lynx is going to be running that Pharah, along with Vonathil on Mercy. Dracaeus, of course, running Reinhardt. Artier on McCree.
And we're going to be remaking X.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Just a little bit. So, we will be remaking here. These things happen. Sometimes people get DC'd. It is esports. It is the truest of esports. So...
yeah, I get to go back to my splash screen and see my Bastion skin. It's the only way I'll ever see my Bastion skin. So it's nice.
I mean, so people that are biased against Tracer, we've coined the term Tracist. What do you call someone who is against Bastion? Like, what sort of
Bastion? I just don't play him.
No, you're totally against Bastion.
Sure. Well, you know, I'm on the side of humans in the Omnic Uprising. Which side are you on?
Wow. You're just gonna throw out all that robot hate. I'm not even sure I feel comfortable right now.
I don't feel comfortable either. No, I just don't find Bastion particularly fun to play. So that's all it is.
So we're getting back into the next lobby. We are remaking. Puro has rejoined us. It's going to be Hollywood for map number 3 as both teams get back in here. I think it might actually be up to me to invite again, because I'm the link between worlds, as it turns out, as I invite Link. No, I don't know. So... getting the rest of Flat Earth in here. And Hex, we've seen some great things come out of both these teams today. I actually have no clue who's going to win Hollywood. I don't even have a favorite.
No, I mean, it could go either way, just what we've seen the last couple maps. Flat Earth, definitely a team that we should keep a closer eye on now, and hopefully people watching at home understand why Flat Earth can be so good and can compete with these top teams. It's really cool to see Mixup back into the tournament scene, and like I say that as if they've been gone forever, but you know, a week in Overwatch is like forever for us. But it's cool to see them back and their roster and adopting kind of that cool style of play, which I think really suits kind of how they've played back in their Not Enigma days as well. The aggressive flankers, just really putting pressure on teams and forcing them to react in a certain way. It's been great to see them, and then whoever wins, I think we'll probably see IDDQD in the finals, and I mean, that's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, IDDQD might just be the scary, unstoppable final boss of, you know, a Dark Souls-esque game or something. 'Cause I feel like they definitely have a little bit of swagger around them, and whatever team wins this will have their work cut out for them and then some. But for now, Flat Earth is focused on Mixup. Mixup is focused on Flat Earth. A lot at stake here in the GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly semifinals, and we still might have problems here, Hex.
Yeah, we've got a mystery face on both sides here, so I think we might be remaking yet again. Beta stuff, man. Beta.
Yeah, the loading the map stuff, it freezes for a moment. I think they had what I was getting earlier where I got the black screen for a little bit, but then it loaded in. But Enigma's going to try and get back in here, so we're not going to write it off just yet, but this is beta. This does happen from time to time. It's a thing.
I was hoping I could spray as spectator. I can't. My graffiti does not go on the ground.
By the way, big shout outs here. We did just hit a big milestone on our Matcherino crowdfunding. We hit over $400 for today. Combination of prize pool from our great sponsors and you guys at home. So big shout out to you guys. Thanks for helping make that happen. Yeah, and Enigma is in here. So going down the Mixup roster, we got Pure on Mercy, Enigma on Torbjorn, Milo on Reinhardt, Pyro on the Symmetra, Harblu on Reaper, and Seagull running it out on the Junkrat.
Yeah, very defensive composition. It's going to try to be countered by Dracaeus, is of course going to be on his Reinhardt. Vonathil will be playing Mercy, Artir on McCree, Bromos is going to be running that offensive Junkrat, Koa on Lucio, and Lynx is going to be damage boosting his Fair Rockets right into Defense 1.
Yep, so pure damage boosting Seagull. We see the spam coming in. It's hard to see the actual effect from the Junkrat's point of view, but believe me, it is very effective. That being said,
kind of walk right in, and they're taking the high ground of this house immediately.
They took a lot of damage on the way in, but they are in. They're counter poking, and Bromas actually takes out the turret. Artir takes out Harblu, and Flat Earth making a very impressive defensive showing here. And if they can take this now, they won't have to deal with the teleporter later.
Yeah, Lynx trying to get back and focus down Seagull. They don't want to get a Riptire Brutal. Oh, here comes the Riptire, though.
Riptire's coming in anyway. Seagull was able to charge it up with the spam. Kawa running for his life. Won't actually ends up dying there regardless, but look at this. We still have a lot of people in the back, but Seagull able to pick off our tier, so just like that, even though it looked like Flat Earth was going to have a very solid offensive showing, I'm not even sure they got a third.
Now, I have no idea how Seagull lived through that. They did get a third, though, so that is going to make the next push a little easier. Yeah. But Seagull was cornered absolutely by the combo above him. Somehow lived through that, killed the Mercy, then got a Riptire off and killed the second support, too. So clutch kills out of Seagull there.
Yeah, and the important thing here, Symmetra does have a teleporter up. It's in somewhat of a killable position, but for now, that will be there if anyone gets picked off early on the defensive team. We do have the Deadeye coming out. Artir takes out Pure. Look at this. Lynx is in the back, just takes out the teleporter, sacrifices his life, and gets resurrected for it. So, worthy trade there. That being said, Seagull helping solidify the defense with the aid of Harblu. This is not over at all, as really Mixup holding in strong.
Yeah, Lynx trying to get some damage done. Seagull still being a pain in the side of Flat Earth, though. They're unable to kill him throughout all of this match.
Yeah, he's been getting poked down the start time. He's going to go down the Earth Shadow here, though. Hammer gang swung in his face. He will go down, but down goes Dracaeus. Harblu Enigma with the follow-up from behind. So a very sort of scrappy fight on top of the first point here. But again, Mixup going to hold strong. They did lose another third.
Yeah, Flat Earth just taking it in thirds. It's fine. They're being very patient with it. They're just unable to kill Seagull. He's done so much damage in these last two fights.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just, maybe he just has been a bigger priority, but he has been slippery in the back, and he has been punishing Flat Earth for not taking him out. And that being said, I believe he's going to have a tire up soon as well. He's at 75% ult charge right now, so he only has to shoot for a little bit more to bring out that tire, and that tire has been absolutely scary today.
Yeah, and the teleporter is up. It's in the main room, so they're going to actually put a pretty strong defense on it. It's going to be difficult for them to try to take out the teleporter, and we see that Lynx has gone very far behind to try to do it.
Yeah, Artier picking up a kill on Enigma. It's a good pickup, but look at the tire. No, the tire's going to go down. No tire value this time, and this might be exactly what Flat Earth needs as they rush in. Artier, though, going to get taken out by the Flame Strike, and a little bit back and forth here. And again, Mixup holding strong. They're making their point known on point A, and even though they're giving up 2/3, they are hanging in here, X.
Yeah, I don't know why they're prioritizing the teleporter as strongly as they are. They send Lynx in on a suicide mission who died at the very beginning of that fight. Now you're in a fight without one of your main damage dealers just because of a teleporter. If they take this point, they will naturally crush this teleporter, which is in the room. They can spam it out through the door, so they just need to focus on pushing the point.
Oh, he just picked off 76 from long range with that spam, and that's going to hurt this next offensive run. And more than that, looking at the offensive ults, they only have Resurrect and Deadeye, whereas we have Earth Shatter, Resurrect, and Death Blossom up on the defense. So
Lynx does take out Seagull there to start this fight. That might clue them in to go in quickly. Lynx is damage boosted up, going to throw down some damage on this point. High Noon comes in too.
Deadeye is out. That's going to create some space. Remember, the defense can only give up a 3rd here, so they have to get on here quickly. Harblu going to drop the Death Blossom, picks off 2 kills. Puro picking up a 3rd in that, and even though Bromas and Artier are still alive, Artier is going to go down, and good stuff coming up from the offense. It's still a little bit of a brawl on the fight, but with the teleporter up, I think Mixup's going to hold this, Hex.
Yeah, teleporter and resurrection was available to use as well, so there's no way they aren't reinforcing that, and they're just crushing Flat Earth's aggression here. Flat Earth has maybe one decent push left in them, but they only have one offensive ultimate to work with.
Yeah, their ultimates are very much on. Look at this. Enigma is perfectly set up here to get a pick, and if he gets a pick off here, that might be good night to this push, and look at this. He's set, he throws the bomb. No, he whiffs the bomb. He was a little bit tentative there. That was potentially the point if he could have gotten that. So now Mixup can still hold this, but they're going to have to do it in a harder fashion.
Yeah, Harblu was trying to come from behind too, but they spotted him out. Lynx is actually just damage bursting down. He's trying to chip away at but Dracaeus is alone on the backside here. Him and Koa are trying to
Artier, nice positioning, nice flashbang, hits 2 people. Bromas able to pick a kill. Artier gets a kill, Lynx gets a kill. And here comes the offensive Flat Earth. They are functioning on all spectrums now. A great flank. And now they might get this point, Hex.
Yeah, Artier damage boosted in the background, just really cleaning everyone up. Ends up finishing off Seagull, and that last desperation push gets him the point.
I just want to note how close that was on the margin. If Enigma had hit that pulse bomb and taken out Artier, I think that would have spelled the end for that push, because Artier would have been dead. He wouldn't have been able to do what he just did, and Mixup would have held on point A. Yeah, but so that just shows how much rides on just a small variation in aim in Overwatch.
Super smart play here, though, by Flat Earth. They immediately try to take to the rooftops and deny what Mixup wants to do and hold these rooftops. They've been bullying Seagull off these roofs twice, 3 times now, pushing all the way back while the cart is going behind them. The combination of Vonathil and Lynx is something that they don't want to mess with right now.
Yeah, but take a look. Seagull is able to get out. Direct bombs Lynx. Lynx is going to get rezzed up here, but Seagull pretty tanky. He has both the orb and a medic on him, so Junkrat, call him Tankrat right now, because they have to put a lot of damage in to kill him. And Seagull is able to take out Kawa. He has a tire up. This is a pretty good looking for the Mixup defense right now.
Yeah, they do finally have to surrender the roofs. Lynx getting pushed back and bullied off, and now Mixup is where they want to be, holding the rooftop with their combination and Seagull and just raining death from above.
Yeah. Good defensive play coming out from Mixup here, and really look at the time. There's not that much time for Flat Earth to get through this next area.
We must work together. Move the
So taking a look at this again, taking a look at Pure in the back, throwing damage boosts on both Harblu and Junkrat, and this sort of spam is really difficult to get through the middle of Hollywood on.
Yeah, I mean, once they've reestablished themselves on this front roof, which they did kind of methodically by taking the back roof first and just kept pushing at it and pushing at it, getting that Diva up there to bully them off of the rooftops, is exactly where Mixup wants to hold, and now they're going to be able to spam down this doorway.
Kawa has been getting crushed by random Junkrat spam this game. It has been really rough for him. He goes down. Even though all the ults are up right now for the offense, they have issues, and here comes the tire, Hex. Tire goes down. It doesn't do anything. I'm not sure it detonated early, got killed or what, but this might be the opportunity that Flat Earth needs, because they have been stalled out here for so long, and Lynx goes down. Barrage a little bit out of sorts, and I don't know, Hex.
Yeah, he just kind of missed the targets that he wanted there. I like the idea of the brush. He kind of had to do something. It seems like Flat Earth feels a little bit desperate right now, and they're throwing their bodies at the cart, but it's into an offensive transcendence. And it's not spam from Junkrat, it's tactical area denial.
Exactly. So, looking at this here, they only have Deadeye up. They're not really that disadvantaged in terms of ults, but really, Flat Earth is going to have to outplay Mixup severely here if they want to get through the streets. And that's just what it comes down to. Seagull, though, takes out Kawa again. Kawa has been a magnet for those Junkrat bombs, and here comes the tire. If the tire kills anyone, it might very well be GG. Barrage takes out Bromas. Enigma gets the medic, and Lynx gets tired at the end, and this is going to be a good defensive hold coming out from Mixup, and they're in... Hang on, it's not over yet.
No,
it's not over yet.
No, not
the res did work.
It's
Hang
never
on.
over with Flat Earth. They decide they only want to push towards the end here, and now they actually have pretty good numbers on the cart going forward. A couple kills can pick this up, but Enigma's behind.
Enigma is behind. The Resurrect did a lot more than expected, and I wonder if we're just seeing a... Wow, this is because they got 3 picks there. I'm surprised this is still going. We see now Mixup on the other end. They're just sort of diving on top of the point, trying to make space. We see the Diva all come down. Lynx, though, got 2 kills. Here comes Seagull. Seagull is back in the fray. This is not over yet by any means. Both teams flying on top of the point. The defense is a little bit scattered, but take a look at Junkrat here. Junkrat able to take out Lynx. Seagull still firing on top of Dracaeus. Dracaeus trying to stay alive. Resurrect comes up. They'll bring multiple people up. Bromas with the tack visor. Both teams just going crazy on top of this point. It is a little bit more momentum in favor of Flat Earth.
Seagull is on top of this roof.
Here comes the tire. The tire is out. And he gets our tier. And that's it. The game is over. They do not get to the second point. Wow, what a nice push coming up from Flat Earth at the end, though. They had lost 3 people early, and with the remaining 3 people, they were still able to stand the point and go.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. I think this is probably going to be our tier on first point, just cleaning up a mess. Yep.
The battle is not over.
So taking a look, this is where our tier just went absolutely crazy on the first point. But you have to wonder how different that'd be if he had gotten pulse bomb to start. It's just so much in this game. It's just you barely miss killing someone by the slimmest of margins, and then they go on to kill half your team. That's Overwatch.
Yep, that is Overwatch in a nutshell, and we are going to the second half of our third map. This is match point for Mixup. If they take the point pretty much any time before overtime starts, I think that's a faster time, and barring that condition, they can also take the second point? I don't know. I'm very confused.
I believe we only have the stopwatch for in-between points in for the finals as opposed to semifinals. I'm not sure. We'd have to confer with the admins and all the rest. But the important thing here is that should they be able to get to the second point, they will win outright, and they will take map number 3 and go on to our grand finals, where they will be facing off against IDD-QD.
Yeah, that's what we all kind of want to see. Actually, I want to see anyone play against IDD-QD because what I've seen from them in the last couple weeks, I don't know that a team can put up a fight against them. I mean, Melty did okay yesterday. Melty, of course, already out in this tournament in round of 8 to Mixup. So Mixup might be the team that can give Melty the best shot, but Flat Earth has shown remarkable resilience in every one of these matches, and they're taking Mixup to the brink right now.
Yeah, but that being said, we've sort of had this before where we had a great defense by Mixup back in King's Row, and we thought, okay, this is Mixup's map. Mixup is going to take it on their attack run. And then Flat Earth came out with an incredible defense. So if you're Mixup, you can't at all feel assured of taking point A, because I would not be surprised if Flat Earth came out and just held on point A, period.
No, Flat Earth is actually going to sell out on the defense. They're going to run a Torbjorn. It's going to be played by Lynx. Vonathil is going to be playing the Symmetra. Dracaeus, of course, is going to be on Reinhardt. Bromas on 76. Artier is going to play McCree, and Koa on Lucio. So they're going to play that kind of that passive sit-back defense. 76 is going to be probably sitting in the cafe on the ledge. You got turrets up everywhere. Dracaeus just going to sit there and soak damage and crush people. Artier going to shoot from behind the shield. This is the composition they need to be running for this defense.
Yep. So 10 seconds, the match will be underway, and an interesting note here, we do have the McCree on the offensive end, so Enigma running McCree on offense. We haven't seen that as much out of Mixup thus far, so a little bit of a change up in strategy, and we'll see if it works out for them.
Yeah, I'd imagine that if they do have to try to take the second point, and when they do try to change the second point, we're going to see Milo go to a D.Va immediately. They're prioritizing that high ground to such a degree that I can't imagine this composition stays the same if we get to second stage.
Oh, and Lynx actually just took out Enigma with a long-range Torbjorn spam shot. That was a headshot, and down goes McCree. Wow.
That's not something you see every day.
That's an interesting spot coming from the Torbjorn.
He killed him so hard he switched classes. Enigma now coming up on the offensive Widowmaker.
I mean, when you go down to Torbjorn like that, sometimes changes are needed. But Offensive Widow is really good on this point as well. And Seagull picks off our tier. That is a huge pick from Seagull. And take a look at this. That Mixup is just going to run in off this. They are at full strength. Pyro takes out the turret. And we just see Mixup increasing their aggressiveness.
Bromos, and he doesn't see it.
Harblue making some work happen in the back. He is going to get taken out by Bromas, though. So Bromas able to recover. A little bit back and forth from both teams here. Mixup might be a little bit less aggressive after that. Vonethil takes out Seagull. But here comes the res from Pure. Resing out multiple people, and this is looking very, very good for Mixup thus far.
Yeah, Teleporter went down, Enigma with 3 quick picks, and this is going to be point, unless Flat Earth can...
Well, take a look at Lynx. Lynx has been Enigma's bane so far. Pulls up the molten core. His turret is dead, though, so it's just Torbjorn on his own. I wouldn't count them out just yet, but... because Dracase is going to get back over here. He does drop the Earth Shatter. He's coming into the point. 2/3 has been captured thus far, but we do see Flat Earth coming in for a last stand of sorts. Down comes the sound barrier. Both teams fighting it out on top of the point. And this is crazy, but I'll tell you what, the tire might be out any second here. The Resurrect comes out, and they capped the point. So they're saying GG well played. They're going by, both teams are going by pure stopwatch rules, so they're saying GG and leaving, thus...
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a faster capture, so...
It is 100% a faster capture.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess we'll call that the rules.
Links, the rules for them, rules for us. So... that's going to be a very quick point A capture for Mixup, and I feel like Mixup has gotten a little bit of the monkey off their back here, because going to Beta 2, they sort of carried Not Enigma's legacy, and they had trouble getting to the finals. They were a little bit inconsistent in their play, and Beta 2 was not the nicest of them, but here they are, North American team in the EU Cup, and they have brought their way to the finals, their first final appearance, I believe. So, good showing from Mixup here, showing that, you know, they were off for a little bit, but they've leveled up their game, and now they get to face the biggest challenge of all in IDDQD.
Yeah, and this is kind of, you know, the collision course we put ourselves on. We expected IDDQD to kind of roll through the top part of the bracket, which they did, which is why we didn't watch any of those games. But we expected to see them in the finals, and we will. And this is kind of, you know, a great statement for Mixup, who's been, you know, partially absent for the last couple of weeks. They've retooled their roster a little bit, and a really good showing here in the EU. You know, I think the reason they're playing EU, and a lot of NA teams don't want to, is they want to get that practices. They want to redeem themselves and bring that name back up to, we are the best team in NA.
Absolutely. So just as a shout out here, before we take a quick break before heading into our grand finals of IDDQD versus Mixup, you guys have been awesome on the Match Arena website. The prize pool now up to $424. I think people wanted to get, there was some talk in chat about wanting to get to at least $420. And big shout outs on some of the bigger donations here. McTigglesby saying amazing, amazing, amazing. Syracuse dropping $5 in, saying that you and I are awesome, Hex, and especially Pat Yu, aka Taza. And yeah, just awesome support, guys. You guys rock.
Yeah, it's been really, really great to see. I don't know. I'm just such a sucker for funny names that McTigglesby is my favorite person.
McTigglesby is pretty awesome.
And he's got the elite donation, 1337.
You know, what more can you ask for? I didn't even know. I wasn't even paying attention to that, but yeah, it's the 1337 donation. Will someone please play May for that man in the finals?
You know, I promise that if I stream tonight, and you should make the same promise too, that next time you stream, you should dedicate at least a half hour to May.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. Can't let you do that, Star Fox.
You can't be off Tracer for a half hour. Is she gonna get jealous?
I mean, maybe. That being said, we're gonna take a short break as we prepare for the grand finals. This is GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly EU Cup. We're going to have some great cross-Atlantic play coming at you. IDDQD versus Mixup. You won't want to miss it. We'll be back in just a moment.